Not anything else not anything outside of what everybody else knows. I mean, we had the meeting the other day, and the brother talked about there were supposedly some people on the plane that were a member of some, I don't even know, some ostentatious thing he told us that I can't even remember, so it must not have been important. But no, brothers and sisters in the chat room or on Facebook, if you guys have any up-to-date news that's not prevalent on, BBC, CNN, all that type of stuff, hit me up on Facebook, come to the chat room and let us know so we can let the people know.
All right, cool. We just want to let everyone know that we will be on the Empowerment Radio Network. That's the Warren Valentine's Network every day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's every day, Monday through Friday from 1 to 4. Myself and Zaza Ali on the Empowerment Radio Network. We're going to need you to write the call-in number down, 888-669-2281. I know you said, wait till I get a pen. Hold on, Griff. The call-in number for the Empowerment Radio Network, Monday through Friday, 1 to 4. All right, it's Warren Valentine's Network, all right, Empowerment Radio. My good brother Dave Anderson is making this happen. Shout out to Dave. We had a beautiful meeting the other day. We're actually going to make this happen, all right? We're going to need y'all to go to tunein.com/radio/Empowerment Radio Network. And you'll find the show Minds Matter with Professor Griff and Zaza Ali starting Monday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. All right, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. every single day for 3 hours. All right, so we're going to need your support. We're going to need y'all to tune in. Now go to TuneIn and tunein.com and download the app on your phone so you can listen to it via the phone. All right, we're going to definitely need your support on this one every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. We're still going to hold this down on Tuesday night, all right? And on top of that, we're going to give a shout-out to Amma and her whole crew on TV, and we're going to be on the air, live, on TV, starting to end the people, all right? Once again, Minds Matter, all right? So we're going to be dealing with some subjects, but this time we want y'all to see what we're dealing with, all right? So big shout out to Amma and the rest of the crew over there. So I'm going to bring our good brother on so we can get to deal with some of these announcements that we want to kind of make and see what's going on in the ATL this week. Abdul Muhammad, are you there?
I'm here. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Wa alaikum salam. Yes, we hear you. Brother Akbar.
Yes.
Okay, I got Sister Zaza Ali on the phone with us. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be with you. I'm listening to your announcements, and we'll talk a little about the ATL. Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, give thanks. Really appreciate it. So what's going on in ATL this weekend?
Well, there's a couple of things. There's a interesting program at the college on Dr. Walter Rodney, from Guyana, who was killed in 1980 in Guyana, and they're going to discuss his life, and that's an interesting dynamic. I want to talk about that for a minute. In Atlanta also, we're going to have Where's the Money with Bob Law from New York, Reverend Al Sampson from Chicago, and myself talking about money. Bob will talk about black spending power and how we can direct our spending power to enhance our community instead of other communities. Reverend Sampson is specializing in this farm program he's doing and bringing food directly to the inner city from the black farmers. And I'm going to be talking about the opportunities to make money in the international arena, Africa and the Caribbean bases, those who want to venture out and see what's happening in that region. I just returned from Guyana and Trinidad late last night. Unbelievable meeting in both places. So I'll be in Atlanta, God willing, with them at, we know it as Sister Precious's place on Martin Luther King and Joseph Laurie. That's 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So we're inviting everybody out to join us. On Sunday, I'm getting Bob and Reverend Sampson to stop by Muhammad's March 15 and be with Minister Sharif And then on Sunday evening at 4 o'clock at the Bole restaurant, that's the Ethiopian restaurant, and it's a shame that I don't have the exact address. We'll be there talking about the 8th Pan-African Congress that's going to take place in Ghana, September the 21st is actually Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's 105th birthday, but it'll be that weekend in Ghana, and we're going to talk about that.
Oh,
So
okay.
And then I know there's some other things happening always in Atlanta on the weekend, but that's what we will, get involved in.
I believe the address for the Bole Ethiopian restaurant is 1650 Virginia Avenue in College Park, and the phone number is 404-549-9111.
Okay. Thank you very much, my
Yes,
sister.
sir.
And Brother Benelik is, hosting us there. So he's the one that's, got that word out. So, Griff, I hope you get back in town before I leave Monday afternoon so that we can sit down and meet. Okay, I'd like to just sit down and meet with you. I talked to Minister Farrakhan this morning, and he asked me to extend his greetings wherever I go and speak to the brothers and sisters. So I want to take an opportunity to do that. I certainly will. He's feeling excellent, and he's just talking about we're going to have the 19th anniversary of the Million Man March, inshallah, in Jamaica in October, and we're planning for that. As many as brothers and sisters who can make it to Jamaica to join the minister down there would be great. But that'll be in October, and we'll be announcing the dates and the packages that we're putting together for those that can make Jamaica for the 19th anniversary of the Million Man March.
Okay. Can I ask you something? What time is Walter Rodney event taking place? Which college is that?
It's going to be at Morehouse. Brother Reginald, he's a professor at Morehouse. It's going to be at Morehouse. And what is interesting for the listening audience, brothers and sisters, Walter Rodney, he became known to Africans in the diaspora from his book, How Europe Undeveloped Africa. A well-known piece that's, a must-reading for those who want to see how the Europeans, what they did to Africa, and how that stretched across the globe. But also, Walter Rodney was killed in a bombing in Guyana, and the then President Forbes Burnham was blamed and responsible for his death, and there's a lot of controversy centered around it. I was in Guyana for the last 12 days, and before I left for Trinidad, and they're having an inquiry. There's a committee of investigating his death, and they're trying to fix the blame of the responsible parties. But at the root of that, as I spoke there, I said that to bring up what happened in 1980, fix the blame on those who were around President Forbes Burnham, and divide an already divided black community with the Indians now in power, and they've been in power in Guyana. We have to take some lessons from history. We could see the same kind of internal dynamic with Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam. Malcolm was brutally assassinated, which is a tragedy for the whole black community, and the Nation of Islam took that blame. And it happened in 1965, but by the time that Spike Lee's picture came out, Malcolm X, there was a resurgence of the idea that they even took it a step further. They ratcheted it up to the level that Minister Farrakhan was responsible. And that's because of the fame and notoriety of the minister and the youth at that time, because of P.E. mentioning the minister first in one of their records, and all of the young brothers beginning, and Griff, you were behind that, and they started gravitating towards the minister, and being that the young people loved Malcolm as the patron saint of the revolution liberation movement, they were torn between their love of Malcolm and the impact Minister Farrakhan was having on them. And so the enemy repeats this trick. The British are the specialists at divide and conquer. And what happened in Guyana, which was once ruled by the British, is what is going on right now. But we have to take those lessons from history. People in Guyana, when I spoke last week, I said that all groups and organizations, all have internal contradictions that they have to struggle with, and then the enemy from within, when they send people in to create that kind of problem. I know that the family of Walter Rodney will be in Atlanta for this event. It's an all-day seminar on Saturday about his life, and they quite naturally will walk through his tragic death. And then if they begin to fix blame on Forbes Burnham, who is the first leader, he was a prime minister when Guyana became independent in 1966. I think the date is May 26th. And he was the one that really tried to move the country forward and made Guyana known throughout the world. He allowed some of the revolutionary strugglers and the black liberation movement to come there, and they couldn't be touched by the enemy outside who was trying to get them extradited. And he really moved Guyana forward as the black leader of Guyana, which is a multicultural society. The Indians, the Chinese, the blacks, the Portuguese, and now they want to drag his name in the mud. I found Professor Griff really amazing. I spoke at 2 black schools there, and none of the students, only one school, one of the students raised their hand. Here's the man who was the first leader of an independent Guyana, and the young people didn't know his name. And it shows you the ability of people to wipe out the names of those who contributed to our struggle. In our struggle in America, we saw that because a whole generation, 4 generations, didn't know Marcus Garvey until those involved in the conscious movement began to mention him. They attempted to do the same thing with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it was Minister Farrakhan rebuilding the nation and bringing his name back to the forefront. But the enemy will take your people who led in the struggle and wipe them out. Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael. How many people talk about his relationship with Martin Luther King, and he was the one that pushed King to come out against the war in Vietnam. It was him. But you don't hear that. You don't know him. And you have a generation now that if you mention, do you know anything about Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael? They know very little, if anything. So we have to do that. And those who build consciousness among the young people, Griffin, you're one of those leaders out there that help young people to become conscious of our struggle, and those who contribute their life, their time, their energy to build that consciousness, and then the enemy comes along and wipes their names from the pages of history.
Yeah, we have to not only begin, but we have to be consistent in remembering those that have came before us, because if we do the work, I think history will reward us.
Absolutely.
If we test it, tried and proven. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. You know, I went to Mary Baraka's funeral. The minister couldn't make it, and I read the letter from the minister. And Danny Glover and I had a conversation after they introduced me and I spoke. When it was over, we were sitting at a table, and he talked about how Mary Baraka impacted him in California, and it actually got him into theater, but he went into theater with a level of consciousness. He wasn't an empty-headed Negro who just wanted to be on the stage and be in front of white folks. But he went on the stage as a conscious brother about our struggle and what it meant in terms of image. And he said this came from Mary Baraka, who was building consciousness. That's what he was. Some people say, is that important, Akbar? Will it earned any money? It absolutely will.